listen, this is why, listen, when you're feeding your physical body, right? As you're feeding your physical body, what you put in it affects what comes out, right? It's the same way with your mental health. Because, like I said, you can be physically disciplined, but mentally lazy. What are you feeding your mind? What are you feeding that? Are you feeding it news, garbage? And when I say garbage, I mean fear-based news, fear, the world is going to hell in the handbasket. But is that what you're constantly feeding yourself? Because what you're feeding your mind matters. What are your thoughts like? Right? Are you observing your thoughts? Who do you spend the most time with throughout your day? The Ford always says, on the best days of your life, you have your best thoughts. On the worst days of your life, you have your worst thoughts. Are you slowing yourself down enough through your everyday processes in life to observe your thoughts? You can't stop the thoughts of fear. You can't stop the thoughts of doubt, feeling overwhelmed, feeling uncertain, but you can slow yourself down long enough to observe your mental health, your thoughts, to observe, what am I feeding my mind every day? What's your morning processes like every day, good people? When you wake up, do you turn on the news first thing in the morning? Do you get your mind together first thing in the morning? Do you talk to your nervous system first thing in the morning and tell it what you want to tell it, right? Hey, let's get up, let's get going. This is a new day. How do you talk to yourself? What is your mental health like? Because whatever you're feeding your mind, it's affecting your clarity. Whatever you're feeding your mind, it's affecting your authenticity. Where's your mental health at? Right? So ask yourself, what am I thinking? So this is what I wrote down. Ask yourself on a daily basis, what am I thinking? And why am I thinking this? Is this even something that I need to be thinking about? What is your mental health like? And if it is something that you need to be thinking about, then you take it a step further. Is it truth or is it story? You got to separate the truth, right? The truth, the facts from the stories. See, listen, some of y'all don't need no more motivation. You just need to observe your thoughts. You just need to become more aware of your thoughts. You just need to become more aware of your mental health. Recognize your thought patterns. What is your mental health like? You spend the most time with you. And if you can't observe your mental thoughts, if you can't slow yourself down long enough to ask yourself, what am I thinking? And why am I thinking this? And do I need to be thinking this right now? Mental health, good people. Or are you just functioning, letting the programs run? Come on, the health leg. What is your health like? Okay, which brings me to the next part of the health leg, the spiritual health. Spiritual health. Listen, drop your questions in the comment, your statements. You just might have something to say. That statement might help somebody in the community. Or if you have a question, I'll get to it. So spiritual health. What's your spiritual health like? Like I said, you can be working out every day physically, but neglecting your spiritual workouts. So I wrote this. What is your spiritual climate like? Do you slow down enough to check in with your higher power? What grounds you, good people? That's what I wrote down. Prayer, meditation, scripture, breath work, nature walks. What is your spiritual health like? Y'all already know my spiritual routine. I wake up, breath work, mantras. Uh, I talk to my nervous system every day. I'm really big in self-talk, which is mantras. I'm really big in breath work, right? I pray still, but my prayer just looks a little bit different since I deconstructed my faith, right? My prayer is just more so conversation with God. I check in with my higher power every day, every day, not just in the morning, but throughout the day, right? What reconnects you to truth? What reconnects you back to your soul truth? What reconnects you back to your spirit, right? Because if your spirit is dry, your whole life feels heavy. You cannot dry out your spirit.